Giving it to you straight with no filter. Danny B wins.
What's going on, my friends? Thanks for joining us today. Listening to, obviously, another edition of Keeping It Real, the X-rated version. We actually just cut the Prince and I, who he'll be joining us shortly in studio. We have the Flash Man.
Oh.
We had the Philly Godfather calling our other show. It's just a busy day. I got Moses with me again.
Big media day for
5 more shows, and Moses gets his SAG card. He's in the union. That's what he's looking for, more perks. Everybody's looking for an edge here, even the fucking bird. Yeah, it's been a busy day, Andy. Kicking off tonight with Baltimore at Denver.
Yeah, big football
The point
tonight.
spread's going all over the place. I know you're not big on that.
Well, I know enough to know that
What do
football
you
is
know,
kicking
Ed?
off tonight.
No, actually, it kicked off last week, so you already lost.
Damn it.
There's a demerit already. But yeah, we're going to talk about that game shortly. We're going to be hearing from the Philly Godfather, and joining us in studio just in a few minutes, the Philly Prince.
That's right. Powerful Philly Prince.
Yeah, we have a busy day, and actually after this show, I'm going to be headed down to the Sands Casino. Going to watch the game down there tonight. So
very cool.
Yeah, it's just a busy day. Again, we got Moses.
Do you have any spots that you're going to be watching?
Dude, I'm all over the fucking place. I'm a mess in there. I honestly, I can't
You
hold
could get lost
still.
in there, right?
It's a nice place. I like it. There's good restaurants. But,
Oh,
you know,
totally.
like any other casino, they got the edge. So expect to go get your ass whipped. But I'm doing something down there with the casino, so I'm working out some details. And,
Very cool.
But, yeah, I'm going to watch the game there tonight. I'll leave here, I don't know, in a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, football tonight, and I think the Prince just walked in the studio.
Oh, Mr. Prince.
There he is. We got to switch over here
we
real
go.
quick.
Check
we got
this out.
We got the Philly Prince with us. Hey, interesting day today. You know, football is here. Get the headset on. on.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun at the ESPN
But now you can't hear if the Philly
studios.
Godfather calls, though, can you?
We can switch.
We'll switch. I'll be able to hear it.
All right, but anyway, yeah, we're just switching over to. Yeah, we did a show earlier today. It's football. Big night. Big night. I know this point spread opened up at 10.5 a couple of months ago at certain sports books. As we're looking right now on scoresandodds.com. It's a good site. Competitors, so don't spend no money there. Denver is now -7. What's all of this about? What do you think?
Great opportunity for a middle. I gave it out to my clients about 4 weeks ago at 10.5. A lot of them, some got 10, some got 9.5.
Right.
If you got 10.5, now it's 7. You have to take the middle. You get a 3.5 point middle, you have to roll with it, even if you have a 3-point middle. But, you know, the public money at first was on Denver. They think Denver's going to blow them out at home. Now all the money's coming in on the Ravens, plus the number. Plus the weather factor. I know when I heard
some
you
rain,
say, yeah.
looking at some rain. I mean, anything can happen here. I know. Whoa! It's Avon. It's Avon calling. The Philly Godfather, I believe, is on the line. Do we have you there, Godfather?
My man, Danny B. I couldn't find the damn number.
You know what? Because you called in from ESPN to ESPN, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not taking shots at nobody because they're great guys down at ESPN. You know, it's a very small place. There's cockroaches in there, and I was very frightened. And I took a piss like 4 or 5 times. And down there, we have to do the PG/rated G version of Keeping It Real, Godfather. But I'll tell you one thing, I was like, it was very confined, nice. And the guy, our new producer, Mike, who's a friend of Harry Mays, who's a friend of yours. I'm not name dropping anything or anything like that, but
listen, Harry's one of the nicest guys in the world, and he's actually sharp, man. When it comes to college football and the pros, he actually knows what he's talking about.
You know, he started off locally here. I know you know, but for those that don't, Harry Mays is out at the Fanatic, right? And down in Philadelphia.
97.5 The Fanatic. I've been on his show
a bunch of times.
numerous times.
Right.
The guy's, he interviews all kinds of players. He's on there with Baldy, Bruno, Mays. I mean, it's a great show. They got everyone on
Tony
there, from
Bruno,
Chip
correct.
Kelly to everyone and their mother. You know what I mean?
and that's he started here locally, and the Prince and I were here, right, when Harry Mays was here locally? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, when we first did the show with Tom.
Yeah, well, we started doing the show here locally back in '95, actually.
Right, with the Las Vegas Sporting
We
News.
talked about that a little bit on the AM show. It airs on Fox Sports, ESPN Radio. That's a Saturday edition. It's cleaned up version, no cursing. But I like the fucking part that I can drop the F-bomb once in a while. Not that, you know, I'm going to do it all through the fucking show, but I might. But anyway, Godfather, I just wanted to get to you real quick. Tonight's game, we started talking about it real quick. And I know right now you're like blowing up. The word's getting out. Spend 10 and win. Spend 10 and win. And it seems like you had said something. We'll talk about the game in a second. But you had said something about when they're hating you, you must be doing something right. I know you had an interesting week, but also you picked up a lot of new members. So congratulations to you, my friend.
Well, I'm really happy. You know, the guys are signing up, and I'm going to do the best I can to help them turn a profit. And like we said, I can't give them everything, but I'm going to give them just enough where they can actually make some money, enjoy the games. And if they're betting their own games on top of them, well, at least they'll break even because they're going to lose if they're betting their own sides. You know what I mean?
Well, you told them last week and the week prior why you can't give everything. There's a lot of variables why, but you know, for that $10 a month investment or $1.40 for the year, whatever it breaks down to. I know you throw in a book for the year if they sign up for the year. You're going to make money, no doubt about it. But really, to maximize this, you know, you can't give them everything. And we talked about you're going to start releasing live service. How close are we to that? Because I'm getting emails, you're getting emails.
Well, I'm just waiting for the computer geek guys to tell me it's all been integrated with the software that I use to bet with all the books around the world. And once that gets done, it'll be up and running. And you know, take a shot. Hopefully, everyone can make a lot of money this year.
Well, you get all of your moves that way, or 80% of them. Are they going to be able to capitalize? Because there's a lot of different moves that you make throughout the day, throughout the week, perhaps. So tell us a little bit.
Well, listen, this week, it's been crazy as hell. I mean, I'm by the screen almost 24 hours a day. I'm in my sweats, haven't combed my hair in 3 days, haven't shaved in 4 days.
Godfather.
You know it's football season, you know what I mean?
No, it is. It has the smell of football. It kicks off tonight. I mean, officially last week. You know, we got some great games this Saturday and Sunday. But tonight, we talked about this, the Prince and I. The line opened up several weeks ago at -10, -10.5 at a couple of offshores.
That was way too high. That was way too high.
I mean, at 10.5, I'm jumping all over Baltimore myself. Anytime you're getting double digits, you won a Super Bowl. Now I just watched it drop to -7. This is what we call, if you had plus 10.5, like some of the Prince's clients got them.
Many did at 5 dimes. I'm not here to promote any sports books, but I said, where are you getting a 10.5? And they all got it at 5 dimes.
And they're a popular book. They're out there. There's a lot of good books. And
let me make something clear. There's a misconception out there. Like, people think that once you see a number at a certain couple offshore accounts, that's the only numbers that exist, and that's far from the truth. I mean, there's locals, there's the Asian market, there's markets all around the world that you can find numbers, but you got to have enough outs. You got to be able to shop. It's like going to one store and they got a Sony TV for $1,000, and then you know what? You didn't go down the street and they had it for $900. So you really got to find as many bookmakers as you can, as many outs, as many shops. So this way you can get the best of the number.
Well, that makes sense, but let's face it, the average guy out there, they're just recreational. So they have their local guy or maybe one offshore account. They're not shopping. And they're betting, you know, but it is relevant. Shit, whether you're betting $50, $500 a game, find that most advantageous line because they're out there. You said the Asian market. Most people know about the Caribbean. They know about over in London, but the Asian market, it's very popular because this shit's global. It's not just restricted here to Philadelphia, New York, Kansas. It's global shit we're talking here.
Yeah, I mean, the Asian market, they're charging 102 juice when guys over here are charging 110, and if you got a middleman involved, more than likely you'll be laying 105 when everyone else is laying 110, and at the end of the year, that VIG really adds up.
It really does. You're talking, it sounds like pennies, but when you're betting big money, those pennies turn into dollars, which equate to profits, you know, or takes away from your profit. It's all about being smart. Just like you said, you're shopping for the TV, you want to look around because chances are you go down a block, you can save $75, $100 or more. But getting back to tonight's game, yeah, I mean, we're sitting at -7. Is this the perfect scenario to do a middle for a guy that maybe quarter 10.5 or a 10 even? Is this a...
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, I'm sorry, did you want to answer that?
Yeah, no, I'm asking you because we already know the Prince already told his guys to middle.
I would definitely listen. Even though Baltimore's the side, you got to move a little bit on Denver. Even if and like someone like me, where I can lay 6.5 -115 on Denver, and I'm really not paying that much more for that half a point. It's gold, man, because you never know. It lands on 7, it lands on 10. You win both sides, and even though Baltimore's a little heavier because it is the right side, you make money on both sides.
Well, you said that. You know, it's people are saying, "How do I get a 6.5?" I don't see no 6.5s out there, but they're not shopping the way you shop. You shop totally different. You're like a push of the button type of guy, where the average guy is very limited. So it is, and I think that's why a lot of people they look at your site and they say, "I didn't get that." Well, that's because you didn't have the outs. And Prince, you know about outs because working in the sports book, even you want to have outs no matter which way.
The more you have, the better. I mean, I have some local guys that strictly, we call them the newspaper guys because they take the lines right out of the newspapers, and they're still making money, and people are losing with them. The more outs you have, the better. I mean, my guys that got 10.5, Godfather brings up a good point. Buy it down to 6.5. Now you have all the key numbers. You have 7, 8, 9, 10. There's so many outs there to win. You have to take the middle there.
But
it's a no-brainer.
How many guys are going to think that advance? You know, they're not in position to do that. They come home, Godfather. That's what I'm saying. When you're moving real money, you should consult in somebody, you know, and the right somebody, not just anybody, because there's a lot of fly-by nights out there, you know. So the average guy's not looking that deep into anything. That's why your site for the $10 a month, that's perfect for that guy just looking for the little advantage. And they're mostly recreational bettors, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And this week I gave them a real treat. I gave the games out as soon as the numbers came out so everyone can beat the number, so I can show everyone that, you know what, when I do have time and I can help you guys out, I will help you guys out. And every game that I gave out, as soon as the lines popped, moved in the right way, and they're ahead of the game either a point or a point and a half.
So you kind of gave them a little advantage in week one to build them up a little bit, because it's important to get off on, especially for the average guy that's only playing with a couple of dollars. You know who the fuck you are. You got that couple of dollars in your pocket. You got to make it stretch till payday. And, you know, it takes money to make money, you know, Prince, and we talk about that.
Everybody wants to play on their own in the month of September. They think they can do it. And the sports book, 17%. That's what they earn in the month of September. It's their biggest month. September. So they're making 17%. Give us a call, website.
Yeah,
I don't know how you're doing it. This is my first on here.
I
don't know how
to get in touch with me, and
just,
I'm here. I mean, I don't listen. I'm not going to knock on your door. You know how to fucking get in
right.
touch
We
with
spend
me.
a lot of time.
You want to
at
know
this, 80
about
hours
me?
a
People
week.
probably have questions. How does this work? What is Danny doing? I don't listen. You know how to get in touch with me. I'm not knocking on nobody's door. I do my shit. You call me if you're interested. Great. If not, you know, go fuck yourself.
Let's be honest, man.
Another thing.
We're trying to earn
real
some money.
quick for
No,
the
we're trying to
people
eat. We
listening
don't
out
care.
there,
You
could also
can
get
never have enough
to
money
Danny on Twitter.
in life because you don't know how long you're going to last. You know?
Andy can't hear. Andy doesn't have his headset on, so
Andy,
he's
go.
he's talking. So
My
you
bad,
guys,
sorry.
Andy's sitting in the back. You look like you had a background group. Okay, Andy.
Sorry, brother. I just wanted to tell everybody. Best way to get to most of these guys is through Twitter. So at Philly Godfather, at Philly Prince 1, and at Danny B Wins. If you want to get in touch with us, Twitter's super quick. We're not going to give you picks like through Twitter, but if you want to get a hold
Andy,
of these
look at
guys,
this
you
guy.
got to hit up Twitter. So definitely get on there. You want to hashtag Keeping It Real. Well, maybe we'll throw something your way, but for now, hit the websites, right?
Now he's giving away the stuff.
Well, I actually like to give out some free props.
Well,
because,
that's fine. That's
gotta
good.
sometimes they're hard to
people
find on
turning
Twitter.
around, yeah.
Just like to give them a little added incentive
Yeah,
and
look
let them
at
know
you.
what's going on.
Andy's giving away the show. You want the fucking bird too? Take Moses. Fucking take him. Nah, I love that bird. That bird's got fucking character, man. That and my young son is the fucking toughest things you can meet. You know how many beatdowns this bird got?
I remember Danny used to call me up, Prince, I feel so bad. What's wrong, Danny? I thought maybe you lost the game. No, Moses isn't moving.
And played dead.
It's funny, when you were living in Sunny Isles, I walked in your place one day.
On the beach. That
I
was
go,
nice.
I do that, and you look at me, you're like, you son of a bitch, he kept me up all night, because I was doing that when you weren't around,
I know.
and he picked it up like that, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, you
know
taught
how
him
many
that.
times I blamed that bird for me losing a game, because he's got this like high pitched thing that he does, and it never fails to. Anytime it's like 3rd and long, and I need them to stop him, there's a fucking 80-yard touchdown. Or fucking, you know what I'm saying? He's a jinx, but I love him, so he's family.
And it's his eyes, he knows.
He knows.
The eyes know.
Birds know. But anyway, you wanted to give out some props? Fire away, my friend. Let's give them.
No. All I said was I give them out on Twitter sometimes. Just out the guys out.
Okay,
That's all, you know?
I thought you wanted to throw something out there. Listen, this is an education.
Nah, it's too big. Listen, it's too busy for that extra shit right now, man. It's fucking nuts.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Again, guys that are looking for the edge and you want that up-to-the-minute information, and we're going to keep it real. Nobody's trying to fucking bang you over the head here. There's a lot of wannabes out there. I got a history, 20-plus years doing this. I've been involved since I'm a kid. The Prince, the Godfather. No relationship, like we said last week. Prince and I go back, almost 20 years. Godfather and I are pretty new to each other. We met through Jimmy back in, I think, November we started talking, and we hooked up in Philly, and Jack, we're just trying to put something nice together. You know, with his talents and my talents of knowing how to communicate with a lot of people, we got something special going on here. It's just a matter of working it out. Meanwhile, if you need anything, you can always check him out, PhillyGodfather.com, or you can always jingle me at DannyBWins.com. Phone number's on the website. We have a weekend show out in Los Angeles, down in Miami. Again, it's a cleaned up version, no dropping the F-bomb, but Poconos here. We're working out a show that we're possibly doing out of the Sands Casino. We're that close, just red tape and all that shit. So we might have the Sands Casino, which doesn't offer sports betting, as you know, but it's a nice casino locally. And,
very nice venue, especially for MMA. They have some big fights coming up in October, November.
I know. Speaking of MMA, I know we're trying to get Joe.
Let me give it to the MMA guy. You wanna?
Yeah, no, the Karate Kid's coming. Here's Andy.
There you go.
A chop.
I'm Mr. Miyagi.
We got to get another set of headsets here.
Oh, yeah.
That's we weren't expecting. I meant to do it, and it's not even about the money. I just fucking forgot. Actually, my studio is better than most of those high-end studios out there.
Fuck yeah, we
Better
did a
than
good
what
job.
we just left.
Without the cockroaches.
It's bigger, it's cooler,
Yeah, it's got nice pictures.
and it's clean.
and a lot of bathrooms. Go ahead, Andy. You wanted to talk chop 'em up karate shit?
Yeah. Just always shout out to Finishers MMA and Jiu Jitsu. We were talking about fights coming up in the Sands, and November 22nd. I was just looking on the website. Is a Bellator fight. And as more info, Bellator is like the UFC. It's just a different organization. Like you have the WWF and the whatever the fuck.
There was a guy, Gene Bellator. Who's Gene Bellator? Wasn't he somebody down in Atlantic City, Philly Godfather? Doesn't that name ring a bell? Gene Bellator?
Nah, I don't remember.
Nothing to you? No,
There's
you
so many
don't?
people, so many names.
Oh,
Andy, let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
Andy.
what's up?
I was talking to Joey yesterday, actually, on the phone in Costa Rica, and he's got a hookup with these UFC guys that go around to different gyms and give seminars and really help people out.
Oh, totally.
Is that something you guys would be interested in?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, usually for a seminar to happen, it's usually done by Eddie Bravo. So he's like the owner and basically the creator of the 10th Planet System. But hell yeah, I mean,
It's like a fucking teaching
All right, well,
Scientology.
I'm going to get in contact with
Scientology.
Joey. Send me your email when you get a chance.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I have him email you all the information. You guys can set it up. I think it would be good for you guys.
dude, I appreciate that. That'd be
imagine
awesome.
Imagine if we got Coco and a Gi too out there. That would be funny to watch him because he likes that stuff, doesn't he? He does
Oh
that
fuck yeah,
chop him up
he's
stuff
a
too.
10th Planet practitioner, and he's a fucking
Practitioner,
savage.
proctologist. No, he'll fuck you up, Joey. I mean, we're going to see him next Friday night. The Godfather's going to come on up. We're going to see Joey Diaz
In New York?
Joey Diaz.net.
Fuck yeah.
He's at Gotham's, I believe, the 13th and the 14th. We got some Mario Cantone's going to be there.
Very cool.
Oh, we got to get Mario on the show, man.
Oh,
That'd be
Mario,
fucking
he's a
hilarious.
busy guy.
He's so freaking funny.
Mario's funny too. Mario will be he's playing at Gotham, I think, the week later. I think Joy Behar is going to be there from The View.
Very cool.
We're name dropping him. Maybe Barbara Walters.
Oh shit.
She's talking about doing a 60-minute thing with
Yeah,
me.
you got to tell Coco to get Joe Rogan on here, man. He's awesome.
dude,
I love everything that he's done from Fear Factor, his involvement with the UFC. The guy's just a beast.
Oh, he's a beast, and he's also absolutely brilliant. He has his own podcast called The Joe Rogan Experience. That's where this whole Death Squad thing came about.
I always wondered what the fuck.
Yeah, and I mean, he's super enlightened, and he's got many different views on a whole bunch of
How
things.
old is Rogan? Is he in his mid-40s?
I want to say he's in his 40s. Yeah.
Because he's been around. That Fear Factor was in the late 90s.
And
right?
before that, he was on some
stand-up shit.
It was like some comedy show, like a regular sitcom. But I
Andy,
forgot the fucking
Andy,
name.
my buddy, I have a kid that used to train down at Johannes a little bit with the boxing. He was in MMA. I think he switched over to UFC. Eddie Alvarez, is he still around or not?
I think, you know what? I gotta look up the name to be sure. But
he was
Eddie
champion,
Alvarez
I think,
is,
in the MMA.
Okay.
And he used to train. He was from actually, I think, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, but he used to come to Johannes to get it to work on his boxing skills.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
shit.
But the guy was unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Good top physical conditioning. The guy was unreal.
You know what's so awesome is this sport's so new. I mean, it's been around for years, but its
I don't even
popularity
watch
is just
it.
gaining.
I haven't even ever. I seen it on the commercials. My son watches the WWE.
Oh, totally.
shit,
Like,
that.
but what's great about it is you got so many kids who are hungry. They want
Oh, it's
sponsorships.
probably
They want.
brutal. I'm sure that it's better than regular boxing, right?
Yeah.
Because they kick the shit out of each
Oh
other.
my
right?
God, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's Muay Thai. It's a mix of Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu.
Muay Thai. I used to drink Muay Thai. Right? Muay
But-
Thai used to get me fucked up. Then I do a bag of blow, then more Muay Thai, and then more blow, then
really
a
get
fucking
fucked
volume,
up.
then I wake up. That's where I got the name Danny Bion. Cool.
better not wake up one day more dead.
No money. I just want more money. I want dead presidents, baby. I got 2 kids that are young, and one of them turns, my little guy, he was in the hospital last week. It was heartbreaking, man. His eye puffed up like a 12-round fight. Honestly, it was bad. You didn't know? I didn't tell you.
No.
It was
What, he
on
bumped with
Twitter.
something?
No, he got allergic reaction from a fucking dog. I hated when my wife said I'm taking him to I said, don't take him to that house. It's dirty. Don't go to that dirty house.
That's crazy.
No,
though.
they're nice people, but they're dirty people.
Oh.
And I just knew something was going to happen. Next thing I know, she says, I'm going to the emergency room. And she's like texting me pictures. He's on the IV. I'm like,
Oh, my God, that's
fucking
gotta
family.
suck.
That's why if you look at my front door, you know, the doormat, it says family members not welcome. It says welcome, or it says welcome except family. Because anytime they come around, it costs me money.
And smokers,
And
not welcome.
Well, some of them stop smoking. I don't care if they smoke weed; they're welcome to. I'll even pass it out. But when they start smoking the cigarettes and picking up the turkey and playing with the man, I don't like that.
Oh
No
yeah,
fucking way.
that gets crazy.
How about you, Godfather? You're not a cigarette smoker, are you?
Nah, I'm not. I'm
It
too
sounds
old
like
for
you
any of that
should,
shit.
like
When I
the
was young,
Godfather.
You do your thing. As you get older, you got responsibilities. You got college. I got my kids in college. I got businesses. I mean, if I'm getting fucked up, who knows what I'll end up betting? You know what I mean?
No, I didn't say that. I said cigarettes. I said you're not a cigarette smoker.
Oh, no.
No, I didn't say the other stuff. No. I picture you smoking a cigar though, for some reason, like the Philly
Oh
Godfather.
yeah, you gotta enjoy a cigar with.
I don't like
No?
that.
None of that?
Never
No.
smoked a cigarette.
Nah,
Cigar.
you know, I like a nice couple glasses of Silver Oak. It's one of my favorite wines, or some Chateau Haut-Briand, just to chill you out after a day where you kick some ass and you just sit back,
Good
relax,
feeling,
and
right?
just
To sit back.
reflect on everything.
See,
you know
my
what I mean?
mind thinks ahead of it. You know, like when I have a bad day and I crush people, I feel awful, and I try to, I lose sleep. And then when I win, I'm ahead of my. It's just like never ending for me. I got to learn to chill. I'll be 51 next month. And I've been doing this so long. It's not easy, man. Look at me, I'm tired. And the season hasn't even started. I've done 2 shows already. I got another show to do after this, a call-in. I got to go lose money at the casino, part of the game, to get a sponsorship. You got to drop some fucking money. I don't know what the fuck. But it'll be fun doing a show out of there if we can pull it off, Prince. I know, Godfather, you're going to come down and do it with us as long as we get the green light to do that, and that would be fun. Nice place to go.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go down there. We'll play some blackjack. I mean, we can even talk about maybe count some cards on the show one day.
Well, you know what? That's one thing about your group. You're diversified. Diverse is the word. You do more than sports. I'm just a sports guy, and besides that, I get my ass whooped. I'm the first one to tell you. I couldn't count a card. I can't. I'm not that gambler that gets lucky. Fucking gambling besides sports. And you do need some luck.
I mean, when you're counting cards, you can use a simple count. There's the same amount as low cards as high cards, 2, 3, 6, 10 through ace. So it's really simple. 7, 8, 9s are neutral cards. So, I mean, you can start small, practice at home, and once you get a little experience, you can go hit the casino and try it out.
I'll tell you one thing. I was there last Saturday. Got hammered, got beat up. A good time. Emerald Steakhouse. Beautiful joint. This is a great casino. I just haven't had no luck there myself. But then again, who usually does? If they had a sports book, I would love it. But they do have a nice, it's a nice atmosphere and stuff like that. I just got beat up. I lost my train of thought here, but what the fuck was I going to say? The fucking Alzheimer's kicking in again.
Doing the radio show, that they have nice outlet stores there. Weren't we going to do it in the...
somewhere here we go. I was playing some fucking roulette. And you had told me a while ago about the patterns of the older roulette dealers that have been doing it. This guy...
Oh, well, listen. The
I didn't
tables,
fucking remember it, though. I was like, didn't somebody, when I walked away,
It's the
500...
worst odds in the house. I mean, for you to win on the roulette table, you got to be real lucky. But the first thing you do if you are going to play roulette, you ask the dealer how long he's been dealing roulette. If he's an older guy, he's been there 10, 15 years, well, then he's going to develop tendencies. He's going to spin the wheel, then spin the ball off of the same place almost every time, because what happens is when you work there that long, you become robotic. And next thing you know, a lot of the numbers keep popping up. So say he lands on 18, you look on the wheel, you look 5 numbers over on one side and 5 numbers over on the other side, and you start picking those numbers apart, betting them, inside the table, and you might win a couple bucks, man. People develop tendencies.
You know what? I lost I think I dropped like a dime total that night. It's not a bit. It's who the fuck wants to lose? Period. I don't like losing because I never fucking win. If I would, I wouldn't mind. But it's like after I walked away from the roulette table, I'm like, the fucking Philly Godfather told me fucking something. And as soon as I was,
Yeah, you got to count cards, man. You got to learn how to count cards.
You know what?
You gotta
Honestly,
put
I hate when I lose with that. I take it personal. I want to fucking reach out and grab the guy. I just. That's why I lean on the mechanical monkeys. because, and I've gotten kicked out of the casino a couple of times up in Poconos for yelling,
smashing.
They warned
yelling
me.
at
Like, what the
them.
fuck you gonna do? Kick me out? Sure enough, they kicked me out. I didn't fucking know.
Well, I mean, listen, they
It's
didn't build those
personal.
casinos without your money. You know what I mean? You were helping out a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, kick me out. Do me a fucking
Yeah,
favor.
exactly.
Save me a fucking another
you saved
$1,000.
a few dimes.
But,
Yeah, but you know, it's funny. Back in the late '80s, when I first learned how to count cards, this legendary figure, the guy that put the whole thing together over here, he's the one that taught us. And you know, you used to always hear about people counting cards and winning, and you thought it was a bunch of shit. So you know, I was a kid back then. We go down, I think it was Harris down AC back then, and I'm sitting there watching him, and within like 20 minutes, he's up 60,000.
what?
And I'm like, holy shit! Next thing you know, all the pit bosses start circling him like a bunch of sharks, and then the big guy comes downstairs with the big pinky ring. He just stands up. He goes right up to Mike, and he goes, "Mike, you know what? You're gonna have to go." And he said, "All right." So the guy with chips, he actually let him cash out.
Really?
Went down there, cashed the window, and from that day, I said to myself, "I gotta learn to do that." You know what I mean? Because you can really find an edge if you're, you know, playing blackjack if you're counting cards.
Well, that is obviously that in poker, because at least poker's kind of you're against each other. It's somewhat a lot of skill, more skill than anything. And
But yeah, when you go to the Sands, every time I'm there, you see the same guys there, and a lot of them, you know, they tell me they have signals, they play together.
Yeah, well,
and
that's-
if you sit at a table and you don't know anybody, well, then you're
Oh,
the
you're
mark.
talking about getting beat up in that place. Yeah, there's been people have been doing that for years. Back
Yeah,
in the day of the junkets when they used to fly out, you know, my boy Mickey, he's like 80 years old, great guy.
Yeah.
Half a mustache. And he told me they used to run the junkets out from the East Coast to the West Coast, and by the time they'd shake a guy down, by the time he landed in fucking Vegas, he was already tapped out. Then he'd go to the casino for markers, like say the Golden Nugget or whatever, get a couple of heavy hitters from Allentown, Philadelphia, 4 or 5 of them on the plane with 1 or 2, whatever marks, if you will.
Yeah, they're broke before they touch
fucking
down,
bust them out
before
on
they
the
even get
plane.
there.
But they don't. They still got Vegas to conquer.
and they
so
all get a percentage of
things
it.
have changed, though, man. I'll tell you what. Atlantic City. I watched a documentary. I like that. That's about what I enjoy besides watching sports. Back in the early '80s. Atlantic City welcomed card counters. They didn't frown upon them, and then they put a stop to that after a bit because
Well, listen, they all still welcome you until you beat them. And beat
Yeah,
them
that's for
consistently. Once
sure.
you beat them, then what they tell you is, sorry, we're going to have to shuffle after every time we deal the cards out. And then what do? You got to pack up and you got to leave because you can't beat them then.
right.
You know what I mean?
So it's
they'll welcome everybody until you can prove that
right.
you're better than them, that you can actually beat them, that you actually have an edge, that you're actually an advantage player. They'll welcome you all day. I mean, that's the bottom line. And we're talking about back, in the old days. Well, in the old days, I know there was an Asian group that used to count cards, and they used to have their dealers set up in different casinos. And what they used to do was, see, this is the problem. People get greedy. The dealers, the ones that steal, that give out chips, that give out extra chips, they're going to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
But the real smart ones work with the card counters, and what they do is, say they got an 18, and their man is playing cards on that table, has a 17. Well, they're not going to give him a chip, but you know what they will do? They'll call it a push, and they'll clean up all the chips real quick, and no one ever catches that. It's hard because, I mean, he could always say it was a mistake, he didn't see it, and you do that 10, 15 times a night, that gives the card counter a huge edge.
And that's what this really comes down to, guys, is the edge. Look me in the eyes. It comes down to having the fucking edge, and that's what we offer here. Experience will do that. Knowing the right people. Some people could card counts, but 1 and 1 and 1 is not 3. It's 7 to some people. So they'll welcome those idiots in, because some people think that they can beat the house because they're mathematically inclined or whatever. But the edge, you guys do.
Yeah, and how do you increase that edge? That's why these card counters, even though they had a 4 or 5% edge on the house, when that dealer did that, it sent that edge to the 10th power. And they just kept raking money, and there was nothing to do to stop it. And they didn't get greedy. They didn't go in there trying to win 100,000 or 150,000. They go in there, win 5, 10,000, leave. Come back a couple months later, boom, boom, boom. But they had people set up all over the place, and they would go to this casino this week, this one the following week, this one the following week, and they maximized their edge without getting caught. And it was brilliant.
Well, that's the key. The MIT scandal, bringing down the house.
That was a good
Greed
movie, too, yeah.
is one of the 7 deadly sins, and they got greedy, and then they got caught.
How many people, too, like, there's times, like, in the NFL, like, I'll have a good day Saturday, and I'll tell you, listen, we kicked ass, lay low. What do you mean you don't like the NFL? My job is to make you money. So if I don't feel confident on a certain day, and I know we're up on the week, collect the envelope.
Pull back the reins.
There's always the next
Pass.
week. And sometimes if I'm down, I don't want to make it worse. So I'll say, listen, fucking take it on the chin, square up. Because, unless I'm confident, I'm not going to just throw fucking games at you. Unless that's what you fucking want. You want a game? I'll give you a game.
Right.
I'll give you fucking games.
I like the guy that calls Danny and says, listen, you have me up 10 dimes for the week. I need to play today. I'm not going to hold it against you.
Yeah,
What's your best guess or
give me
where's
a
the
guess,
information? Then you give the guy the game the next day. Oh, you cocksucker. Why'd you
I bet
fucking
it
give me
all
that
on it,
game?
yeah. So
you said it wouldn't go against my
what,
number.
But not everybody's like that. There's a lot of good guys, and there's a lot of shitheads in our business, and we're not naming names. I told you I'm honest about shit. I worked for a group of guys down in Florida. Boy, they were like fucking at everything but masks on. The fucking gun, the mask, bringing in $500,000 fucking by week. What was the handle down there? You remember those days? It was fucking incredible.
The kickbacks alone, they were getting about $150,000 a week just in kickbacks.
Well, that was
minimum.
That was a lot of it was
That was the
third-party
problem.
payouts, though. Too. A lot of it was
And
commissions,
transfers.
So there was a lot of misconceptions, but that was a big operation, man. That was just like fucking. It was huge.
That's when the market was good. Everybody
People were
was
good.
flush
You
with
could go
cash.
offshore. People were
Housing
paying
market was good.
Neteller, PayPal to facilitate all the money. Things have changed.
The quick collect. We had a
You have to
quick
be
collect
really.
in the office.
That's why now any edge that you have to maximize it. That's why these guys in Philadelphia, there's different betting syndicates. You're not alone out there. Godfather, you know that. There's a great group out of Texas, up in San Francisco. I'm sure you know a lot more than that. But back in the day, Prince, you took bets from this group of guys out of Texas that were moving $100,000, $200,000 average a game, right?
They had a couple million in their account, and they were betting so much. I had a private investigator do an asset and liability investigation on to find out who they were. Well, I found out they're both working for Conrail, making $30,000 a year. So how
does that add
Well,
up?
anyway, we tied them into Las Vegas, and they were going through BW.
Well, a lot
It
of
was
people.
one- it was one of his guys.
This was 96, 97.
These guys offshore, you don't. A lot of them don't pay taxes.
Well,
That's the key. They're betting
oh, you know what?
$100,000
That's why
a
Billy.
game.
We talked about this a little bit on AM radio today. Billy did something. He was talking about Vegas. Did you read the article? Anybody read this besides me?
Yeah, about the he can't
move the money that he used to. They're forcing our hand to go offshore. Godfather, what's your time frame? I know Mammoth is doing something. You have a contest too for guys that can't make it out. I wanted to talk about that. I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, I got this nice contest.
Yeah, it's a good
it
thing.
mimics the Hilton contest.
Yeah.
As long as you're a member of the PhillyGodfather.com, you get in for free. First place gets $1,000, second place gets $500, and third place gets $250. And you pick 5 games a week, and they got to be sides. It can't be totals. And at the end of the year, the guy that wins the most games wins the contest, second, third place, and so on.
You know what? If you can't afford the normal buy-in, which is what, $1,500 for the contest.
Yeah, this is free. As long as you're a member at the website, this is a free
And that's
contest.
what-
You don't got to buy in or anything. As long as you sign up, $10 a month, you're in there. You take a shot, and you might win $1,000.
You know what? And that's the thing. It's great entertainment. I know you're working on doing some production, some videos eventually. I know people we got to get in the studio together, and that's our goal eventually. Different places on the map. I'm here, not far from you. We're only like an hour away from each other. Prince is a
Yeah, well, listen, I started the website to help people out, but I got a bigger vision. Eventually, I really want it to become like a 24-hour-a-day lifetime gambling channel or network where it's on 24 hours a day, where we have documentaries, where we film stuff in different casinos. Who's got the nicest casinos? Who's got the nicest sports books? Who's got the best restaurants in these casinos? Interview real gamblers. We're doing a series right now, a documentary called Behind the Shadows, where these guys won't come up front, so we got them behind the screen, but they tell us exactly how the whole market started, how it works, and so on and so on. And there's some great stories, so stuff like that. That's where I really want to go with this. I don't want to be on ESPN. I tell people all the time, I want to be bigger than ESPN.
Well, you know what? That's one thing. Everything's censored on ESPN. They tell you what they want you to hear, especially in different scandals. I know, of course, the NBA with their association with ESPN, they covered that scandal back in 2007, so...
they don't help you out. Listen, let's be honest, man. Those professional or those experts, they'll get you buried if you listen to them when it comes to gambling. They don't have a goddamn clue. So
go the other way.
We really need a station, kind of like HBO or Showtime, where, we talk the way we talk, we show them how it really gets done, and we try to educate the people on how this market really works and how, how it rotates and how it spins around and how, it really drives everyone to watch the NFL, to watch WNBA, to watch the NBA, MLB. I mean, let's be honest, gambling is what has built these institutions.
Yeah, anything else, any other thought is hypocritical, because Who the hell cares, especially about like me, basketball? Fucking, it's like
That's why there's a
tennis.
game on
It's
every
back
day.
and fucking forth.
Listen, who the hell's going to watch Carolina against Jacksonville 1 o'clock on Sunday unless there's a point spread on the game? I mean, those two teams are horrible. Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
No, you're
You're
right.
not going to watch that game unless you can, lay 7 or take 3, or you want to reverse it into something else. And I mean, gambling built the NFL. Gambling built all the leagues, and for them to be hypocritical and say that the integrity of gambling and this and that's all a bunch of crap.
Well, let me ask you this: if it's so, how could it be non-hypocritical in Las Vegas? Because the law, prohibits or allows Vegas rather to do the sports. I don't get it. It's just ridiculous.
Hey, listen, man, we're living in a stone age. It's going to change. They can't just let one city and one state allow you to bet on sports. I mean, I got to jump on that plane for 5.5 hours to get out to Vegas.
No
Yeah,
peanuts, no nothing.
it just doesn't make any sense anymore. You know, I mean, times have changed. We've got computers, we've got the internet, we've got so much, advancements in life where it just doesn't make any sense anymore. Legalize it. Let everyone go on their computer, bet whatever the hell they want to bet. Take that tax money and do some good things with it.
That's the beautiful things for people. That's what I want. I agree with you. That's our goal here as well, is to have a network where, like you said, the best casinos, best restaurants, shops. That's one thing about the Sands locally in Bethel. Nice shops. It's a nice little mini mall. It's very
Yeah,
beautiful.
you can do so much. We can talk about UFC, MMA. We can have guys like Joey Odessa on. We can do stories. It's just, there's no ceiling, man, and it would be so much better for everyone if we just told it how it is and we just kept it real.
Why not? It seems to be becoming more popular. There's a reality show starting next week. I know a lot of people are hiring or trying to go into the regular markets like Fox Sports, and it's just a matter of time. Believe me, my biggest problem is people that really want to do this the right way. The guys that have the investor mentality, they don't have the place to facilitate. So for them, I understand. They don't want to send money to some lady in Hong Kong or in fucking Vietnam hiding behind some fucking rice paddies. It's just not a comfortable feeling to send $100,000 to somebody you can't even
in
pronounce.
Portugal, but you're playing in Costa Rica.
Let me ask you a question. When you go to the bank and you see insured by the FDA up to $250,000, you feel safe putting money in there, don't you?
Only when my brother's locked up because
you're still getting your money whether they rob the bank or not. Now, what I'm saying is, how great would that be if we had something like that in the sports gambling market? That, you know what, you felt good knowing if I got $10,000 in this account, no matter what happens, I'm getting my $10,000. You know what I mean? That's what this needs.
And I agree, because I have a lot of guys that, especially out in Los Angeles, they like the investment. We're talking about showing realistic returns. We talked about this on the show this morning. If you have $100,000, this is what I want you knuckleheads to think about. You got $100,000, or whatever the number is, sitting in a money market account. You're getting 2%, 3% if you're fucking lucky. They tax you. What does that leave you with? A fucking Happy Meal. Enough to take your kids out for a fucking Happy Meal. So you let these son of a bitches hold on.
God forbid you die, they take 50% inheritance tax.
No,
and you're really screwed.
but here's the deal. These son of a bitches got your 100 large for 1 year, and they're going to give you back $1,800 after they tax you if you're lucky. You know how much money they made off of your 100 large? If we can show you returns from 12%, 15%, depending on what you're betting or what you're looking for, up to 30% or more. And that's realistic. For me to tell you I'm going to take $100,000 and flip it into $500,000, like a lot of, we're going to go 1 to 2, 2 to 4. Ain't going to fucking happen. But strategically taking the good, hitting 58%, 59, 60, what can you say is an absolute...
You know what, listen, Dan, you know what the problem is? Say you got a couple of your boys up in New York in the stock market, and they tell you to invest, and you invest 10 dimes. And at the end of the year, they tell you, you made you got $13,000 in that account. You made, $3,000 profit. You made a 30% return on your money. You would tell fucking everyone and their mother, wouldn't you? Oh, this guy made me 30% on my money. He's awesome. Yo, you got to invest with my guy. He's making me money. He's investing in junk bonds. He's investing in all kinds of stuff overseas and blah, blah, blah. But if you tell an average gambler, you give me 10 dimes and you'll make 13 back, they look at you like, big deal. I can do that.
It's sick. But
Yeah, because they hear, I'm going to turn your $1,000 into $100,000 in a month, and people want to believe that. That doesn't happen.
That's so. You know what? That's a good point. But here's the thing: is because they're They're liars. Gamblers are liars. They lie.
And they want to be lied to.
And most of them want promises that you can't keep. But here's the deal. I tell somebody, realistically, we can hit 58, 60%. I could do fucking better on my own.
No, you can't. You can hit 43%.
Why do I need you? Because I'm doing... You know what? Realistically, you're lying.
Yeah, the funniest guys are the guys that say, you know what, I broke even this week. All I had to do was pay the juice. And they lost $700 in juice.
Right. Yeah, they played 20 games.
That's $2,800 a fucking month if you average that. But bottom line is, this is not for everybody. And there are guys that are better off on your own because you bounce around too much. You go from me to this guy to that guy. If I go cold, which it's quite possible, you know, I can have a bad weekend, but you know what? I'm used to it. It happens. Ride it out. You know, stick with that guy. Have a couple of wallets. It's okay to have a couple of wallets, but when you keep bouncing and bouncing, it's going to bounce.
You're never going to get ahead. We're looking for members. We've had guys that have been with us since our days at the Las Vegas Sporting News. I go out fishing with them. They're part of the family now. I mean, they've seen my kids grow up from, you know, babies to teenagers, high school, and college. We've had members for decades.
Yeah, we
over a decade.
We did radio together last in 01, but we've kept in touch, you know, and we have had those clients that have been, whether they came with me or they were with you, but you know, the bottom line is you got to be consistent. And again, this ain't for everybody, you know. You guys want to have some fun, make some money, go to phillygodfather.com. He's got some great articles, you know. Get that contest going. For there's no buy-in. You can win it. Show your skills, and that's what this is all about, you know, having a little fun. This version of what we're doing, it's just, you know, it's to have some fun and also keep your mind open. There's money to be made in this. You just have to do it the right way, and you can't be reckless, and, you know, just follow our advice. Godfather, you want to elaborate on anything here as we're ready to wind down?
Right now I'm spending about 12 to 14 hours a day working. And most people just don't have the time to do that. They got 9 to 5. They got, you know, all kinds of stuff going on. And this is what we do, man. This is what we do for a living. This is what we've been doing for, God, more than 25 years. And, you know, I just want to let them know that you're in safe hands when you come hang out with us, man. We're going to treat you well, and you're going to make a couple bucks.
Yeah, and again, we're going to get this thing off and running, the live service. I'm open for business. You want my help, I'm here. You want to hold off, wait for the Philly Godfather to let you know when he's ready to go. And I understand it's all about the click and boom. But the bottom line is, guys, just do this the right way. Don't be reckless, and, you know, don't be haters. There's a lot of haters out there. We're just trying to tell it the way it is. A lot of people looking at, who the fuck are these guys think they are? This fucking guy, fucking...
All these freaking clowns have come around the last couple of years. I mean, listen, I've seen guys win millions of dollars, have a good 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and then go broke.
Yeah, I know.
So your record over the last 1 or 2 or 3 years, to me, doesn't mean a goddamn thing, man. Because you got that hourglass of time. That thing keeps ticking and ticking and ticking. And the law of large numbers will tell you, if you're not doing things the right way, eventually you're going to get crushed. So don't come at me with, you know, I've won the last 2 years or 3 years. I really could care less, man. Let me know where you're at 10 years from now. That's what I'm asking.
That's what it really comes down to, is you can only lie to yourself. You know, we're not trying to hurt you. We're here to help you, educate you. If you like what you hear, great. If not, then you don't have to listen. That's the bottom line. But honestly, guys, what was I going to say? It's at that time. We've been, 50 minutes or so here. I got to get ready to get to the Sands here. I'm going to be doing the Sands.
I got a funny story before you leave.
Yeah, we got a few minutes. Good.
Yeah. You know, football's in the air in Philly, man. They take bets on every corner and every bar and a lot of the pizza shops. And it's funny because I went down to my buddy's pizza shop the other day, City View, down in off of Spring Garden Street in Philly. And there's a junior high school next to it, and there was these kids in there. They must have been in 8th grade, and they're passing out, you know, football pools and all this stuff. So I'm cracking up. So I asked him, "What do you got over there?" You know, I knew what they had. And the kid's he's telling me, "I got a football pool. You want to play it?" So I said, "All right." So I reached in my pocket, I pulled out $100. I said, "I'm gonna play for $100." And the kid was sharp as a whistle. He goes, "Time out." Because no one bets that big unless they're a wise guy. He goes, "I'm not taking your bets." And we started cracking. Now, this is an 8th grade kid who already knows that there's wise guys out there. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I tell you what, that was how I got started. You know, parlay cards. I remember my first bet. I don't remember. I think it was Miami. It was a Monday night, and I won $25. My friend's father was a bookie, and from there, I kind of because I won. I thought this is the best thing that ever happened to me. Then I met a guy that knew a guy, of course, that had the parlay cards, you know, and I had a paper route. So I used to insert them in the newspaper, deliver it, and you filled it out if I picked it up on a third, because we didn't have Thursday night football back then. You had Saturday and Sunday and
And
Monday.
Monday, and that's it.
That's it. Well, that's why sports bettors were more inclined to be disciplined because they didn't have all this shit going on. Not every game was televised. You only had your ABC game. There was ESPN wasn't even around when I started. It started like 78, 79. So, yeah, that's how I started with the old fucking parlay cards, inserting them in. If you wanted in, you'd fill out the ticket. And people could leave money on their front step back in the day.
That's multitasking. You're selling papers, getting collected. That's good.
Yeah. And
that was when they used to switch times of games, and you could pass post bookies. They wouldn't even know it, and they still pay.
Dude, that's a funny story because when I was booking up in Canada there for a while, we were doing it illegally, but we were up there booking. We didn't have the software, and with the horse racing, we had this Canadian kid that was working with somebody from New York State. They were passing post on the horse racing. We were getting beat up. We caught them though, and you know the guys we used to work for. You know what they do?
Yeah, they don't mess around with that. Yeah,
I don't think they found the Canuck or the New York guy. I know they're missing an
guy in
action.
Jamaica that was passed.
I remember the guys that Dan, it's Eric. He's the best weed in the world too up in Canada back in the day. I had some fun in this business. It's been a long journey. Ups and downs, and the bottom line is, you know what, this could be lucrative, and I'm saying this with all sincerity, but it ain't for everybody. Only a handful of guys are going to excel, because let's face it, most people are sore losers. If I lose a couple of games, it fucking sucks. I should have stuck with Kelso or this guy.
And then they start chasing, they start doubling up, and you can't make money doing that. You know what I mean?
Not for everybody. Treat it like a business. You know, a good restaurant, you know, they don't always have a busy night. But that one or two good nights makes up for it. So it's about consistency. You know, the bottom line is...
it's a process, staying true to the numbers and being loyal, not jumping around from this capper to that capper. And the guys that text you in the first quarter, you're down 7-0. Jesus Christ, give us a break.
Oh,
here,
I hate them. You don't get... Do you get that? I'm sure you
bet $50 on a game. If you had 50,000 on it, then you can
and
text
then
me
they
in the
feel
first
bad
quarter.
when they wind up winning and they say, sorry, I won't do that again. You know, I never count the game over until it's fucking over.
In the meantime, you're out with your family. You have no idea what the score is.
I try not to watch.
And I don't want to be ethical or ethnic here, but it seems that a lot of the Irish guys are always texting me first quarter. This is a loser.
It's because you're dealing with
Well,
the
they
Boston.
do drink a little bit.
They get man, they're the worst.
They do
The
drink a
Irish
little
guys
bit.
out of Boston,
Yeah,
man,
but they're good people though. Deep
They
down.
do.
They're loyal.
The reason I put up with them, they're great guys. They bet a lot of money, and if they say I'm sending you 5 dimes overnight, you always get it. You don't need to track a number, and you don't have to play collection agency with me. They're my best customers and my biggest
Well, you know what?
headaches.
They got the outlets too. There's plenty
They
of
do.
bookies.
In Boston,
and
yeah.
they're sharp, you know. But then you got guys like out in Los Angeles. They're, you know, they got Vegas there. But some of these guys that listen to the AM show, they never bet before. They want to treat it like a business, and they always do better than the next guy.
They do.
Because they're not looking for that action. And I can say to them, listen, we're not playing on. Okay, I spend the day with my family, Dan.
Whatever you say, Commander.
Yeah,
you remember
Captain,
Commander?
Yeah, Captain.
Commander.
I've been called all types, and then sometimes you're fucking.
Well, let me put it this way: the guys that watch the least amount of games usually make the most amount of money.
That's true. So true.
It is,
and the least amount of headaches.
You know, it's true. I try not to watch the games, and a lot of times I find out how I'm doing by a nasty tweet or a nasty text, and I'm like, really, you fucking dickheads?
Once the game starts, it's anticlimactic because we already did our homework. We already did the research.
There
The
it
bet's
goes.
always in.
I
I tell the guys, we had a good baseball season, and they're like, baseball is tough to watch. Well, don't watch it. Just call me in the morning. I'll tell you what we made.
Well, yeah, that's the bottom line is it's not for everybody. It will drive you crazy, up, down. You can be up the whole game, and like I keep going back to that South Carolina, North Carolina. That was fucking edgy. You got the cover, but the first and goal from the 2. How many? Usually you're punching that in, especially with a 17-point lead.
That was brutal.
That was fucking brutal.
Pulling teeth. We were dentists there.
We got some good games going on this weekend, and the show we're already 40, 50 minutes deep into it, and I got some other shit.
Yeah, we'll let it go. But and to end it on this note, I mean, the only game I really watched last weekend was that Clemson game because it was probably the biggest bet I made in the last 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So thank God it turned out all right. Everyone was happy. We won some money. And that's really, unless I got a ton of money on a game, I really don't even watch them anymore because it ends up being a headache. It ends up taking time away from yourself, your family.
The family,
and,
too.
If you do your work, you're going to make some money. You don't have to watch.
That's so true without cutting you off. I mean, my attitude comes out when I know I'm losing a game and the kids want to talk. What the fuck you want? And I'm like, feel bad. I really feel awful. Like, I'll give Daddy a hug. What the fuck you want? It's like my wife, if she walks in front of the TV, I throw an ashtray at her, and I don't even smoke.
So please, if
and
you're
you know what the
listening,
worst is? Like, Sundays I take the kids to the movies, and if I have a big wager on the game, I'm at the movie theater, and I'm looking at my phone, and we're just looking at him like, Dad, put that shit away, and I got to put it away. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do.
I was watching Meet the Millers the other day, and the guy
Funny.
behind me says, "Put your phone away," because I'm looking at the scores. And I turn, I just give him a real mean look.
Funny
I'm like,
movie, though.
Mind your own business. Oh, real funny
movie. But
Real
yeah,
funny
my
movie.
older boy, he's 9 now. And he sees me, he's like, Dad, please, come on. Watch King of the Hill with me and put the fucking page. He don't say the F word, but I know he's thinking that.
Yeah.
Moses, you got anything to say before we go, shithead? All right, Moses, 5 more shows. He gets his SAG card. He's in
Very
the union.
well behaved,
Well, he's
Moses.
better out
Wow.
down here. He just wants to be a part. He
is a part.
I had him before my wife.
I
First
remember
it was-
when you had Moses.
First it was me. I used to do the score phones, and he used to sit right on my fucking shoulder shitting on me the whole fucking time. I didn't care because I had somebody to love.
Saturdays were brutal in the
Oh,
score.
I get
brutal.
on. Oh, that was a
brutal.
long day. I wake up with opening odds. That was a 15, 16-hour day.
And yeah, if
Then I
not
have-
longer, with
oh.
the Hawaii game.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so Moses sat there, then I met my wife, then we had a cat, then we had one kid, then another kid. And I hope that my trip to Atlantic City didn't cost me another kid because I think I had an accident. One of those accidents that could cause that surprise child.
All right, there you go.
And I'm like, oh, please, baby, no, don't do this to me. I'm 51. I can't do it again. I can't. Honestly, look at me. I can't fucking do it no more. I don't want. If I had one, I'd embrace it. But please, man, please. I swear to God, I'd sacrifice the whole year. Just don't be pregnant. Please,
You've
baby.
been to the doctors a lot lately. Maybe you need to go get clipped.
Well, I'm saying, I'm taking care of it. Just
Like Moses got his wings clipped.
no, I'm not trying for snow, but I got diagnosed with hepatitis C some years ago from the military. It's a fucking strand from when I was a young kid. I went overseas. I'm battling with that, so I'm trying to get myself all in order, and it takes a lot of energy away from me. So on top of working hard, I'm fighting this off, and I'm just trying to get through life, man, just like everybody else, doing my thing, and that's why I rely on guys like the Philly Godfather, because they got all of these people in play, you know? And why should I sit there? I'll do my little research, of course, don't get me wrong. I put in my hours, but if I could just pick up the fucking phone and say, hey, what's the proper move tonight? And you'll tell me out of all the leans you might have, all right, let's stick with that one. And that sounds good. And I'm going to trust him. And maybe his other plays won and that one lost. But if I stick with that 1 or 2 games that you get, I'm going to be happy, and so will everybody else. So anybody got anything to say before I go ahead and take a piss or shit and get something
Let
to
me
eat?
ask you a question. I've given out some free games on the show. Am I 6-1 so far?
No, you're kicking ass. Hey, listen,
I
man.
think I gave out UCLA last week, right?
No, you listen. You
Should I give out another one?
You
Nah,
can
you know what?
you do
We'll get it
whatever.
on next week.
Listen, man, you do what you do, man. The guy's a winner, and I'm the first one to say that. I'm not even sitting here promoting myself, I'm just saying that the network that I put together, you can't help but making money, but stay with it, man, and just follow the pattern. Don't expect miracles. You know what kills me? People are like, and I saw this, and I try not to get, because you're the one who told me, don't worry about this, don't worry, because I get emotional. When guys is like saying, what do you get for $10? You get quality. For that $10, you're getting a lot of fucking quality. Why you do this? Because you can and you want to. And the bottom line...
Like I said, I got a bigger dream, man. This is just the beginning with that website. We're moving on to bigger and better things every day. And to leave you on a good note, all I got to say is the San Diego Chargers are a real bad team this year. So
Hint, wink,
whatever
wink.
you want to do with that little bit of
Wink, wink,
information, you
hint,
can do with it.
yeah.
But the Chargers just suck
They
bad.
stink.
And I got to get out of here, Danny. So I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, buddy.
take care.
PhillyGodfather.com.
All right.
Thanks for your time, guys. And, well, it's that time. And
I gotta take a piss too, Dan.
Go
That
ahead.
coffee's just running
Oh,
through
I
here.
know.
We'll turn it over to MMA.
and we'll
Thanks,
sign
guys.
out. We'll sign out here. Another edition of Keeping It Real, the R-rated, X-rated version of it. And good luck with tonight's game, guys. Perfect medal if you did get Baltimore at +10. Now maybe jump on Denver -7. It depends if you were smart enough or you were in position. But anyway, good luck tonight, whatever way you go, and God be with you, or whoever else you follow. All of those different gods, if like Andy, the 10th planet god, and all that other shit, and Allah Akbar and all that crazy shit. Until next week, guys, we're out of here.